The media industry in Scotland is flourishing, from blockbuster films like Avengers being shot here, classic shows like Still Game and Outlander, and radio shows and YouTube channels popping up all around the country. When thinking of different industries, the media one might not jump to the front of your mind as a sustainable job, but it shouldn't be ruled out. We got the chance to visit Clyde Radio and were lucky enough to come back to interview two members on working in the media industry and what that can do for you.
So Radio Clyde was one of the first commercial radio stations. So when it started, there was only the BBC and Radio Clyde, and it is a local radio station. So although it's part of Bauer Media and we have national brands, Radio Clyde is a radio station for Glasgow and the West. There's a lot of different jobs. We are a commercial radio station as opposed to the BBC, so there is a lot of jobs around sales and advertising and like sponsorship and promotions that all generate revenue to keep the business running. And then on top of that, we have teams of people who write and script adverts. We've got people who are presenters, producers. We've got people whose job it is to schedule adverts. We've got a news team, traffic and travel. I'm trying to think. Yes, we've also got the usual kind of office type jobs, you know, HR, admin, IT, finance, cleaners as well. You know, it is a functioning office as well. So I work for the Bauer Academy. So Bauer is the parent company of Radio Clyde, and as part of that, we have a media training academy where we kind of pride ourselves on being the place where the industry and education mix, so that you are in learning industry techniques from people who work in the industry, but from an educational background. There's loads of good aspects of my job. It's kind of hard to pin them down, to be honest. For me, I think it changes lives. I work with lots of different people. So sometimes we do like media training, and it's people from disadvantaged or disengaged people who no longer go to school, and we train them up, and it's transferable skills, communication, all that kind of stuff, and you can actually see people growing in confidence and communication skills in front of your eyes, and that to me is so rewarding because you can see the impact of what you're doing. We did a project last year which was called Down Memory Lane, and it was dealing with people who suffer with dementia and Alzheimer's. It was all about storytelling and capturing their stories, and again that was infinitely rewarding. Obviously with any job there's negatives. Some days I'm sitting looking at spreadsheets, some days I'm processing invoices, but the good definitely outweighs the bad. For me, no 2 days are the same. So for example, on Monday I was working with a class of primary school kids, and they were creating podcasts about food waste and food poverty. In a few weeks it looks like I might be going out to a project which is people who have come through the prison system, and it's like about rehabilitating them. I've worked with, as I said before, people who suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's. Did a project last year and it was in Edinburgh Sick Kids Hospital. So it's just working with so many different people, and the kind of main thread, I suppose, between everything I do is it's about people's stories, it's about changing lives, and so it's so rewarding because of that. Yeah, so I started in here on reception, and so it was my job to like sign people in and out, and so I got to meet quite a lot of famous people when I was down at the front desk. Now, because I'm kind of upstairs away from the main open plan office, you don't see as many, but there is definitely people that come in. So Cheryl Cole, or Fernando Forcini, whatever the hell her name is now, she came in, One Direction came in right after X Factor, so they were really young then. Gary Barlow, the guy I do quite like, McFly and Busted, and I was working at one of the Clyde events and they were at it before they announced the McBusted, so it was bizarre backstage seeing the guys from Busted hanging about, and then they kind of announced it on stage that they were going to be touring, so that was quite exciting. But yeah, it's good fun. Well, it's a funny one because for me, when I was at school, media wasn't really even a subject, and you know, I wish I had thought about radio. I know some schools now have school radio stations. That didn't happen when I was at school, but now I think because of social media and because of like YouTubers and all that kind of stuff, people are creating content already before it even becomes a job or whatever. And so I would say do things because you love them. Like, don't set out to be a YouTuber because you want to make a lot of money. Set out to make videos because you enjoy making videos, and if a career comes off the back of it, then that's amazing. So I think that that's the best way round. If do something that you love because you love it. Does that make sense? Yeah, definitely. I think that certainly for me and for many of my colleagues, when you work in a radio station, you know, you don't really switch off, or you could be in here as often as you want. The radio's on 24 hours a day, and so it is a bit of a kind of lifestyle commitment. So if you're expecting a 9-to-5 job, you're in the wrong place. Like, whereas if you're expecting to do something that you love and it's never a dull day every single day, then it's worth committing to. Yeah, so we do, so that's kind of what my job is. We do a whole load of training courses. Sometimes we partner up with people like the Prince's Trust, other times it's us running it on our own, and they are about kind of providing opportunities to learn about radio or media inside the industry. I've spoken to quite a lot of bosses in here who would be kind of the people who would hire presenters or producers or whoever it would be, and every one of them in the past have said it's about the person, not about necessarily the qualifications that they bring. It's about if you're passionate, if you're already making a podcast because that's something you're interested in, as opposed to someone who's looking to be the next George Bowie. You kind of can't expect to have it handed to you on a platter. It's about somebody who's passionate, somebody who's keen, somebody who really wants to be here because they love it, and I think that will always shine through from someone. Oh, I mean, we've had some absolute stormers. I had an email once from someone who had obviously copied and pasted their application, and it was saying things like, I want to join Capital's Street Stars, blah blah blah. Now Capital is Capital Radio's our main competitor, so you know, just silly things like that. You think, read it over. Or one of the guys, it was for a senior producer's job. One of the guys downstairs told me about someone who applied for a job, got invited along to an interview and couldn't find the building, so didn't show up. And it turns out they were in the car park. They couldn't find the door to get into the building, so they just left. And it's like, well, I mean, hello, phone the person, email them, say, oh, I'm outside, I can't figure out how to get in. Or do you know what I mean? Just daft things where you think you're shooting yourself in the foot. Or people who have come in on training courses with us and just had the wrong attitude, you know, expecting to be there, not taking advice. You know, they've maybe got a community radio show already, or they volunteer at a radio station already, and when we're offering advice about how to make their demo better, they're like, oh, that's not how I do it on my show. And it's like, well, why have you come to ask for our training? If you're beyond it, if you're so much better than it, then don't ask for advice. Do you know what I mean? It's that kind of it just comes across like you kind of know it all. So obviously always take criticism with a kind of pinch of salt, but take feedback and criticism and build on it. Don't just think that you know it all, kind of thing. Oh, I actually love my job. I think it's kind of difficult to pin down. Like my family, especially when we're organising like childcare, they'll be like, what is your job again? Where are you this week? What are you doing? And it could be, you know, I could be in a children's hospital, I could be out filming with students, I could be in a school, I could have primary school students in here, so it's never a dull day. But when you can see someone, I suppose it would be the same as teaching, when you can see someone literally understand something that you've told them for the first time, or you can see someone who comes along at the start of a day and is really shy and really nervous, and by the end of the day they're having a laugh and a joke with you. You can see it happening in front of your eyes. So I absolutely love it.
Well, my apprenticeship has been really fun. I've honestly enjoyed it for the first year and a bit, coming on to my second year. I've had a lot of like different opportunities, and as well as that I've learned so many new things that I didn't know about before. Well, it's given me like the chance to see what, if I wanted to do a career in radio, to see what it is like and what like the whole company itself offers in a way, and you kind of get to experience what you can do within the company as well.
What do you plan to do?
Well, since I've been here, it's kind of shown me that I want to be a radio presenter. So I'm hoping that in the next few years I can maybe make some sort of career out of that and hopefully become a presenter.
What are the best and worst aspects?
Well, so far they've all been very positive. Like I've met Martina, and then I've met some other people that work here, and they're all very nice as well. And I've also been able to like try different things that I didn't think I would be able to do, and it's kind of like really helped me boost my confidence as well.
How did you find out about Clyde?
It was actually through the apprenticeship, because the first year you're more in college, and then the second year you do college and a placement. So unfortunately I missed the interview for this Clyde one, but it was spoken about, and I briefly read about Clyde as well beforehand and what they do.
What is it like working here?
It's actually like really relaxing and very enjoyable, because I know that when I come in I always have something to do. It keeps me busy, but also I'm never like bored here, or it's never dull. It's always something exciting that comes up.
What advice would you give to people in a similar situation as you?
I'd say just put yourself forward for any opportunities that do come towards you, and just to enjoy yourself the best you can and try and participate in everything.
And lastly, would you recommend doing this?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend doing the apprenticeship as a whole, but also if you do get a chance to work here, to really take it, because it's extremely good.
We are really grateful Martina and Megan let us in to interview and talk to them about what they do. If you want to know more about Clyde Radio and any of the many events they do, their details will be in the description. We hope this helps you to learn more about what it's like to work and study in the media industry, more specifically in radio. Thank you for watching.